had somebody say the same thing to me, that, African Americans don't have a culture. Do we?
I definitely think Black Americans have a culture, and I think the culture stems from just our history.
I would like to begin with this small, simple example. You have deer, and they have deer culture in the wild. However, when hunters or people go out into the wild and capture those deer and bring them to the zoo, the original deer will continue to practice, if it is possible, their true deer nature. Deer in the forest are doing what is natural to the deer. But of course, we know that incarceration of animals brings about the description called domestication. So that is where we stand with the black man and woman in America. And enslaved people cannot develop culture. They become part of somebody else's culture. You have become part of American society. The only way that you can say that black people in America have a culture is that in some kind of way they share power.
I believe they have a distinct culture because we have our own way of cooking, we have our own way of dancing, we have our own way of speaking, and our own way of dressing, and on the lines of that.
It seems as if asking the question, do African Americans have a distinct culture, is the same as asking the question, are African Americans strangers in American society? For a lot of black people in America, they don't feel any ownership to America. It still feels very much like the white man's land. And that also goes along with the nearness and the farness that the stranger possesses. Black people, I think, feel like they are in society, but it is not their society.
There seems to be a consistent effort to tie African Americans to Africans because they are descendants of Africans, when in actuality, actually talking about a group of people that essentially have been created from previous American societies. Essentially, they were created in America, so their ties are of America.
The question of whether or not African Americans actually have a culture is really just a manifestation of the tension that George Simmel describes in The Stranger. So to me, that is proof that African Americans really are strangers of American society.